Reflections. I am Priestess Ifaponmilè Omowari Ogunyomi, and I am a goddaughter of Reverend Priestess Oshun Funke Iyanifa. And today we are going to be talking about the strawberry moon, the summer solstice, and the ritual we have planned for June 21st. So first we're going to talk about the strawberry moon. So the strawberry moon is the full moon of June. So it is nature's way of signaling the end of spring and the beginning of summer. It is rare for it to coincide with the summer solstice, but here we are. The strawberry moon happens when trees start to bear fruit. So typically from June on, you can begin to harvest things like berries and then gathering food and things like hay. Strawberries are native to the northern hemisphere. It's not to say you can't get them anywhere else, but they are native to the northern hemisphere. And they would have been a staple in the diet of indigenous peoples in the United States and the Americas in general. So the moon does have other names. This particular moon has other names. It's called the Mead moon. It can be called the rose moon. And ancient Romans supposedly called it the honey moon. Fun fact. June comes from the Roman goddess Juno, who is the goddess of marriage and childbirth. June typically marks the unofficial start of wedding season, as some of you may know, but now you know why. Indigenous people believed that the strawberry moon was a symbol of a time of prosperity, abundance, and fertility. Mother Earth, or Ile Aye, as we call her, or as we say in our practice, it's very fertile during this time. And so that's both literally and figuratively. Strawberry moon is a great time to manifest abundance and growth. And those who practice Wicca also believe something very similar. So you may see lots of celebrations by witches during this next few days. The full moon itself is generally a time to harvest the things that you've been working on since the new moon. New moon is like goal setting, and then the full moon is a time to sit in that abundance and appreciate the things that you have. It's also a time when emotions run typically kind of heightened around here. And this is why it's also a good time to release anything that you are carrying that gives you stress, anxiety, or sadness, because it will just be worse if you're holding on to it. So now let's talk about the summer solstice. Summer solstice. Summer solstice is the day of the year where the sun is closest to the earth. It is the longest day of the year, and then after that day, all the days start to get shorter and we have less sunlight until the winter solstice, when it starts to come back. This can signify a time of self-nourishment. So another good reason to release things that no longer serve you. And it's a transition from light to dark. And when intentions are properly set, this could be the beginning of a new era and a level up in your self-love, your self-care, and your overall wellness. So most of the times you hear people talking about getting their summer body or having a hot girl summer. This is a reason why. We become more conscious of ourselves and what we want for ourselves. And so we often try to live our best life during the summer, and it's nature's way of realigning us and making sure that we do take care of ourselves. So let's talk about the prep for this ritual in a couple days. If you are watching this from the module, you have access to the teaching aid and the supply list. So you kind of already get an idea of what's going on. So I'm just explaining it just in case there was anything that you didn't quite understand. So the first thing is you need some fruit. We're going to make an offering to your ancestors. And you're going to create a fruit salad using fresh fruit. So strawberries, grapes, blueberries, pineapples, any of the things, okay? We're going to be making a lamp. And so the lamp is going to be in a melon, whatever kind of melon you choose. Doesn't matter. It could be cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, doesn't matter. If you get a watermelon, get a small one. You don't need anything, I would say, about this big. This is a good size. You don't need anything huge, because the bigger it is, the more oil you're going to have to use. So a smaller melon is perfectly fine. And you're going to actually cut the melon before the ritual. So you want it to be flat. If it doesn't have like a flat area where it can safely sit by itself without wobbling, you can just like cut a small bit, maybe an inch or two off of the base, and that will make it be flat. So if it has bumps or anything, just cut it evenly. You just need a little bit cut off just so that it sits properly without doing all this, because it's going to have oil in it. So and then you're going to take the inside out and get as much of that out as necessary, depending upon what kind of melon you get. And you're going to put that in your fruit salad. And then the other part of the melon, because you're going to cut it in half, depending upon the melon, you just need to cut off enough to where you can start to dig into it. Again, size is a factor. So if you have any questions before the ritual, chances are I sent you a text message from my actual number, so you can text me and ask me before the actual ritual. And we could do it during the ritual too, but I kind of have people doing prep work just to save some time. We love time saving. So you are going to cut the melon, cut out the inside. That's going to be part of your salad. And you want to keep some seeds. You don't have to keep all of them, but you want to keep some seeds to put in your lamp. And then you want to also let them dry and use them for other magical purposes. Depending upon what kind of melon you use, you can use it to do all types of things. Or you can plant them and grow something and be all living off the land. So do this while your music plays. So there's a playlist that I asked everyone to create. So you want to pick about 20 songs that make you feel good, that make you glow. And you're going to name this My Glow Up. So you want these songs to be motivational in a way. They don't have to be, you know, they don't have to not be explicit, but you don't want to do too much because you're going to do this during a ritual. So it has to be songs that make you feel like, I'm the bomb, and you know, to make you want to do a little shoulder shrug. If the song don't make you want to do a little this or a little of this, then it's not the right song. Okay, if it don't have you bopping a little bit or swaying, then you need to pick another song. And if you want suggestions, reach out to me and I'll send you what my list looks like. That way you can see it. And again, do all the prep for this while your music is playing to help you get in the vibe. So the prayer, I would really prefer that you did the prayer before the ritual and wrote it. That way you can divine on it and make sure that it is in alignment with what you want. So if you type it in like a Google Doc or an iPhone note or whatever you have to your disposal, you can type it, make sure that it's in alignment. And this will ensure that the prayer you write is full and complete as well. And it's what you actually need. And again, write this prayer while your music is playing and you're gonna write this on a piece of paper and with a brightly colored utensil. Doesn't matter, it could be pink, it could be red, it could be orange, just something bright and pretty, okay? And you're gonna use the P-R-A-Y method. And so the P is you're going to give your ancestors honor and praise for the blessings you have received so far this year and in helping you make it through hardship. The R is going to be you releasing something that you gave too much time and energy to. Typically R is repent, but in this instance, we're going to use it as a release. I mentioned that a couple times earlier. There's a lot of emotions going on, and sometimes emotionally we hold on to things that we don't need to, whether it be anger, frustration, anxiety, sadness, whatever it is, grief in my case. And so you're going to use the R to release with this particular one. The A is going to be and going back to the R, also apologize for being stuck in that thing and not seeing the blessings you were given. Sometimes we are one-track minded and singularly focused, and so we don't see everything around us. We don't see the goodness because we're focused on that one bad thing. We do this in relationships too, and so we got to stop doing that. So again, that's the repent part, I guess you could say, because you're apologizing for being stuck. For the A, we're going to ask for healing and abundance and over this new season in your life. And then for the why, we are going to assert that the blessings and greatness are already present and that more amazing things are coming. Okay? If you have questions, reach out to me and I will help you with that. So for the lamp, again, hopefully you've prepped this before the ritual. You could do it a few minutes before, it's fine. You could do it an hour before, totally fine. You could put the rest in the refrigerator while we wait for class to start. And we will start on time. So for the melon, you've cut the bottom, you've cut the inside out. If there is a little bit left on the top, you can kind of like slice it pretty, like some of the rind. If you can make like pretty slices and kind of use that as garnish on your salad or on the plate that you're actually putting this on, that will make it look pretty. You want this to be pretty, okay? So you won't necessarily put this like in the lamp because as it burns, it'll get all weird. But you can put it like on the plate and decorate the plate with certain things. So you don't want to decorate it with the other fruit necessarily, because depending upon where you put this, it might not be a good idea to leave fruit out for the whole 5 days, because this is going to be a 5-day thing. But you can, you know, make it look, the rind will kind of be okay. And as it shrinks, it won't do too much damage and it won't look too funny because you've only cut the rind. So do it to make it look pretty. You're going to enchant your herbs depending upon what the herbs are. So I put on there, you're going to pick herbs based on your intentions. So again, divine. Use a yes or no method. If you have cowrie shells, which my necklace is made out of those, if you have pennies, or if you have a pendulum. If you need assistance with that part of the ritual, let me know and I will help you figure out what it is that you actually need. And most things can be found in your kitchen cabinet, so you really don't have to buy anything. Things like basil, thyme, rosemary, cinnamon. Cinnamon is good for abundance, prosperity, protection, and quickening, so you can use that one. Rosemary is good for like everything. It's like a coverall. You can use that baby for everything. Bay leaves or laurel leaves, those are also good for prosperity. Mint is good for prosperity. Nutmeg, ginger, anything that you got. If you need assistance, let me know and I will help you. But you can literally look up magical properties of things in your cabinet and they will tell you. If you're in the Facebook group, you can go to the files and the encyclopedia of magical herbs is in there, and you can look up intentions of herbs that way as well. But you do not have to buy anything crazy for this. There are so many intentions of just one herb, especially if you use rosemary and cinnamon, then you're probably going to be okay. And then you can throw in something like basil or thyme or, like I said, nutmeg, ginger. If you have allspice, that's a good one. Star anise is a good one for breaking hexes and for protection against hexes and curses and renewal. So there's plenty of things at your disposal. If you need help, reach out to me and I can assist you. So you're going to enchant your herbs. You're going to put them in there. And you're going to put your lamp in like a safe place. If you have an ancestor altar, clean your ancestor altar first before we do the ritual. Make sure it's good and wiped down. Give them fresh, cool water. Give them fresh gin or whatever has been advised for you to offer. If you have not had an ancestral life path reading, I would say just give them gin and water. If you have Caribbean ancestors, rum. You can give them rum as well. But if you know for sure, or you don't know if you have Caribbean ancestors, but you know you are of African descent, gin is just fine. Any high proof gin is fine as long as it's, 80% or more. Totally fine. Don't give them whiskey, don't give them bourbon, don't give them beer just because you know they like it. Like for your ancestor altar, you want this to be more for your elevated ancestors, not just your dearly departed. However, if it's like a birthday or a special occasion, then you can share those things with your dearly departed. So my dad didn't really drink, but he drank beer sometimes. So if I really want to do something for him, I wouldn't even get him a beer. Really, I'd get him a glass of milk because that's how my dad was. But if you had an ancestor and you're doing something specific for them, then you can give them their specific thing. But when on your ancestor altar, it's not just about your dearly departed, it's about all of your ancestors, specifically your elevated ancestors, because they're the ones really pulling the strings and doing the work. So Jen, if you are not Caribbean, you can add rum if you are Caribbean, because it's very popular in the Caribbean. And then always cool water. Doesn't have to be cold necessarily, but, and if you can get spring water, get spring water. I keep a big old gallon of spring water because I have several altars in my house, because I have to keep certain things separate, because I have, my ex-husband has an altar here for my children, and then I have a Caucasian ancestor altar, I have an African ancestor altar, I have a working altar, which is actually behind me. So there, and I have a friend's ashes right now, so she has her own altar somewhere else. So a lot of altars in my house, and so lots of glasses of water all over the place, and plates of food sometimes. So just make sure your altar is clean, if you have one beforehand. If you don't have one, you can set out a glass of gin, or, and not even a glass again, if you have a little shot glass. I use my dad's shot glass, and it's on his shelf on the altar, so that I just use a little bit for the gin. But for the water, you can use a regular, if you have like a wine glass, you can go to Dollar Tree. I specifically went to Dollar Tree and got glasses for my altars. You can do that as well. Just get something that is specifically for the altar, because you don't want to drink out of a cup that you've had on an altar. You don't want to eat off of a plate that you've used for an altar. So white plates are very important. If you, white plates, white saucers, white bowls, white, white, no other color, just the white. Go to Dollar Tree, get you a couple saucers, a couple plates, and a couple bowls, and only use those for ancestor offerings and workings, and then that way you don't ever have to worry about it mixing and intermingling. My kids know not to grab any of the white stuff. Everything else is, you know, a color of some sort, or it's white mixed with something else. They know they can use that, but they don't ever grab just the white stuff, because it's an established thing in the house that we don't use white dishes, and that their glasses are their glasses, but they're always on the altar anyway, and they always have water in my case. So just be aware of those things. That is also in the ritual where it says a white plate. So again, you can go to Dollar Tree, you can reuse this plate. I don't ever throw mine away. I just wash them, and I Florida water them before every ritual. Florida water is important. You can make your own. If you need a quick recipe for one, let me know, I can give it to you. But you can make it like in a day if you had to. If you have access to essential oils, I can give you a recipe for a quick one. If you already have a Florida water, which I have a few, there's one of mine right now, that would be best to use a homemade Florida water. They do sell it in stores. I believe you can get it on Amazon, and you should be able to get it before the ritual. So, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you are more than free to join the ritual still. I'm going to put the link in the video so that you can join us. Again, these are very simple things. A piece of paper, a pretty pencil or a marker or something like that, white saucer, floating wick, sunflower oil, fruit. What else is on this list? Spring water. You do need a little bit of spring water for your lamp. You'll need 2 separate white plates. You'll need melon and 2 to 3 herbs based on your divination, and to create your playlist. So this is not anything super crazy. It'll take us maybe an hour to do this, especially if you've all watched this video. Like and share the video too, by the way, and make sure you are subscribed. But if everybody watches this video beforehand and everybody is prepped, we'll be able to run through this really, really quickly. And then I can assist other people if they need some more assistance, especially the new people. There are a few new people that registered that aren't part of the coven. So if you need a little bit of assistance, we will gladly assist you. You're going to be in great company with a bunch of priestesses in training, and so we're going to have a good time, and we're all going to have our little playlists, and so we're all going to be a little bappity bapping. But if you can today, make your playlist, and make your playlist first, and then write your prayer and do the little shopping, whatever you need to do on Thursday. Today's Juneteenth, if you're watching this as I post it, so you It's Juneteenth, and you probably have the day off, hopefully. I do. So hopefully you can do a little bit of prep work today. And then, as always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, on Messenger. If you have my number, especially if you've registered for the class, you have my number now. So you can text me and ask me anything about the ritual. And it gives you a little bit more exclusive access, because now you can text me about random things and I'll answer you, as long as I'm like not on the phone or doing stuff with my kids and stuff. So you get a little bit more access to me. Yay. And then just let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Make sure you like the video if you've watched it. Make sure you comment so I know that you watched it. Make sure you go watch all the other videos. I'm going to be releasing a lot more content pretty soon, so make sure you check all of that out. Click the link in the description, because that's going to take you to more information. It's going to take you to the actual ritual itself. It'll take you to all the classes, all the services that I have, all the products that I sell, all the good things. So click links, like, share, subscribe, all those things. I'm not inserting things, so I'm just pointing. There we go. Y'all know I'm a clown. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the ritual. This is a ritual that you can do every year. So you can do this always for the strawberry moon. You can do this always for the summer solstice. It doesn't have to be just this one. So if you missed it this time, it's fine. You have something for next year to do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful Juneteenth. I hope you have a wonderful June, a wonderful summer. I hope you manifest great things for yourself and the people around you. And remember to keep your head so high you don't even see the haters.